Alright, what up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you guys a pretty cool and quick, easy mod that you can do to these little axial crawlers, or really any crawler. Doesn't really matter. It works a lot better with these smaller crawlers, of course, because they're so light already. It doesn't really take much to change the center of gravity, but obviously there's a lot of stuff you can do to the underside here. You can get a lot of weighted components, brass parts, aluminum parts, that sort of thing. But what about ways we can make this thing heavier and change the center of gravity for cheap, or maybe even free? A lot of people use things like solder, lead weights, that sort of thing, but you know, not everybody even has solder around. Not everybody even has like lead weights around. Not everybody's a fisherman. Not everybody's into electronics, that sort of thing. And so we're just going to dive into this real quick. And the way we're going to be doing this, the only thing you will need is AAA battery. Woo! They come in many different flavors, so you actually have quite a bit of variance when it comes to the amount of weight you're adding. And then of course the other thing you're going to need is a pair of scissors and a zip tie, or even just a piece of tape. The first time I did this mod, I did it with just a piece of tape. Piece of tape is all you need, but the zip tie lasts a little bit longer. Now real quick, I'm going to bust out the trusty scale here. Now we're going to see what the weight differences can be between a couple different AAAs. Of course you can also use AA's if your AAAs are not quite heavy enough for you. So starting with the Thunderbolt Magnum, which is the cheapest of the Harbor Freight batteries, the ones that they actually gave away for free for a while there. So I actually have just hundreds of these laying around for when they were free, and I just never used most of them. So I still have literally hundreds of those laying around for free. And those 7.2 grams, these Amazon Basics rechargeable, I don't know if they're rechargeable, I think they're just alkaline. Yeah, they're just alkaline. These Amazon Basic ones are 11.3 grams. So they're actually, you know, they're actually about 4 grams heavier than the Thunderbolt one. So depending on how much weight you want, you can use a different battery, of course, it doesn't really matter. AAAs are the best because they fit the best, but you know, you do still get a little bit of variance in weight if you need it. So anyways, let's jump into it. And what we're going to be doing here is, let's see if I can get this thing on camera here. What you'll see here is that you have this little light bar here in the front end of your chassis. Now this is for the C10 body. I don't know if the Jeep bodies are going to be super different or if the other one is going to be super different, but there should be a place in the front somewhere for you to attach one of these. The C10 happens to be perfect. You can just fit your AAA right here, and you can, you know, either tape it there with a piece of, you know, just clear tape or duct tape or whatever, or you can do what I do, which is to get a zip tie, which actually works really, really well. So first things first, you're just going to slip it through the top with the, I guess it probably doesn't matter which way you do this, but I do it with the bead up top here. What you're going to do is you're going to cinch this thing down first, just to make it look easier. And then this little guy just slips right on in there. You tuck it down in there, and you finish tightening it up. And then that bad boy is in there. And that should not only add a little bit of weight, but it should shift it towards the front, which for a crawler, that's what you want. I've been hearing a lot about 60-40 weight distribution. I don't know exactly what this will do for your weight distribution, but it will bring it towards the front, and it will actually make your performance a lot better. I noticed night and day differences with the battery mod. Slopes that I couldn't even barely get up, this thing will just choosh right on up. No problems asked. Even in the snow, this thing, in the snow, this thing is amazing. I'll show you guys some videos that I made. I recorded a video of this with the battery mod and a video of it without the battery mod, trying to go up a snowy slope that I made. And with the battery mod, it definitely chooches a lot harder up that hill. And without the battery mod, it pretty much doesn't even make it up the hill without thoughts and prayers from the Overlord. But yeah, anyways, that is a pretty simple, basic, and free mod even. It could be free. It's a cheap mod nonetheless, but you know, if you have some spare batteries laying around, you can call it free. Or if you have a used battery that's dead, you could just use a dead battery. Boom, free. So yeah, that's pretty much the mod. It's super easy. You can do it with a completely stock model. You don't have to change anything. I know there's other free mods that you can do to change the weight distribution. You can move the battery up front, move the ESC to the back, but even still, that is like a little bit more hands deep than a lot of people are going to want to get, even though it's not all that crazy. I even find myself saying like, it just sounds like a little bit of a hassle, even though it's like, what, you know, 4, 5, 6 screws, something like that. So, you know, that is another mod you can do for free, is just move the ESC to the back and the battery to the front so that more of the weight is in the front. But, you know, some people can't be bothered to do even that, including myself. And then I've also heard problems with the ESC cord just not quite being short enough to reach the servo, or the servo cord not being quite long enough to reach the ESC rather. So I've heard people needing extensions to pull that off, so it kind of becomes a little bit less than free at that point, at least in my opinion. But this is a really, really easy way to dramatically shift the performance of your truck without changing literally a single thing about it. You can leave it completely stock. You don't have to move any parts. You don't have to add any parts or remove any parts. You just fucking tape a battery to the front of the thing and you're good to go. It's easy to put on. It's easy to take off if you don't want it there anymore. You can do this without making any changes to your stock vehicle. So you can pretty much just run around saying like, hey, this thing is completely bone stock. I beat you at a race or whatever. Or beat you at a hill climb, whatever. Anyways, I think that's enough rambling for this video. Just wanted to show you guys this cool, cheap little mod that I came up with. I'm sure somebody else has done something similar, whether or not it's with a battery. But I thought I would show you guys anyway because it is just so easy, so cheap, so simple, and it's extremely, extremely effective. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Definitely helps me out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.